Hey everyone, so today we're going to talk about psycho-spiritual tips for happiness. I wanted to think about some of the most powerful psychological, spiritual, energetic principles that I find have both informed me in my practice with clients and informed me in my personal life in terms of being happier and making good decisions. But before we start, if you have other subjects that are of interest like this, if you're into life coaching, if you're into health and wellness and spirituality, go ahead and click on the subscription button below. Also click on the notification bell so that you can be notified every time a new video comes out. So the first concept that I'm thinking about is, if you're unhappy, you're in bad company. If any of you have ever heard of the famous French philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre, he said it in the following words: if you are lonely when you're alone, you're in bad company. I think that this is so important because so many times we blame our unhappiness, our loneliness, our just overall malaise or lack of well-being on external circumstances. We blame it on our partners or a lack of partners. We blame it on our dates. We blame it on our children. We blame it on our bosses. We blame it on work. We blame it on what's going on in the world, the wars, the pandemics. Whatever is going on, we blame everything on stuff that's external to us. But the truth of the matter is, the only thing that is always consistent in your life and the only person that you spend all of your time with is yourself. So if you're looking to somebody else to make you happy, it's not really going to work because they won't be with you all the time. And if you are not realizing that if you tend to be in a funk most of the time, then that's you creating that. Then this is kind of an aha to open your eyes and realize, wow, I am the first source of my well-being or lack thereof. The second concept that I want to talk about today is love is an action verb. What does that mean? Well, oftentimes we think that love is just a feeling. It's just something that happens to us. Either you have a love at first sight and you feel love in your belly, or you think that, okay, if I'm just not feeling it, then that means I'm not in love. And the truth of the matter is love as a verb. Love is an action. This is something that entails making a continual effort, dedication, commitment, and continual little actions towards not only creating love with another person, whether that's going on a date or your marriage partner or your children, but actually having a discipline of love in order to create that emotion within yourself and create that environment within your life, that environment of love or of loving relationships. So, this can become really confusing. Let's say you're in a long-term relationship or you're married, and in the beginning you had butterflies in your stomach, and over time you're not feeling it anymore. Well, chances are, if you're not feeling it anymore, it's because you might not be making the types of efforts you made in the beginning, where it was just a natural feeling that you confused for love, which was more of a passion or an excitement or a sexual impulse. Now, if that feeling of love is missing, I would encourage you to start doing loving acts in order to create that love, or to see perhaps your partner is not doing that either anymore, or they used to be, and that's why you're not feeling that same type of love. Success. Success, just like love, is the result of sustained efforts. Success is not luck. Success is not, we think sometimes that success is due to where a person was born or the opportunities that they were afforded. But most likely, if you really do research, into the lives of the successful, you will see that these are people that had grit, that had discipline, and that every day had a routine practice to accomplish the things they wanted to get successful. You know, I remember once watching a video about Jennifer Lopez's life and how she would sleep in the dance studio when she didn't have a place to live. Or we hear about some of the most successful people in the world that didn't even make it through high school and yet became so successful. And when we read about how they did it, oftentimes they committed themselves to a career path that was in line with their passion, and then they just gave themselves, you know, 100% or 80%, you know, putting long work hours in and creativity and never giving up so that they could accomplish what they wanted. And success is not always the end goal. Oftentimes the end goal is meaning, is supporting themselves, you know, basically financially, but you know, it's about dedicating yourself to something that matters to you in the long term. Okay, what you feed your mind, you feed your heart. So if you are, you know, feeding your mind the worst news every day and constantly talking about how bad things are and you know, searching the streets for everything that's wrong, or searching your life or your partnership or your relationships for everything that's wrong with them, chances are your heart is going to follow suit. Your heart is going to start feeling depressed, lonely, sad, upset. So having conscious intention with the types of thoughts that we create for ourselves and feed into our mind, what we expose ourselves to on a daily level, will very much influence the way you feel and your emotions. If you have a tendency towards depression, start seeing if you are a person that, you know, watches the news every day, calls and likes to complain and point out everything that's going wrong. If you have chosen friends that are complainers or that are always upset about something, and you know, you will notice that that is what's contributing to these feelings of depression or sadness. So really feeding your mind appropriately, just like you need to feed your body well in order for it to be strong and healthy, you need to feed your mind well in order for your emotions to be healthy and stable. When you're angry, pause before you speak. If you, you know, just blurt out the first thing that comes to mind when you're angry, chances are you will say things that could hurt the other person or that you might not have said had you given yourself a moment. So make it a practice whenever you're angry to kind of come to terms physically with that anger. Take a deep breath, pause, take a moment, notice that you're angry before you decide to verbalize or say something to the person that might be the cause or anything else. So just taking that one deep breath in and out, or maybe 2 deep breaths in and out. This concept could even apply to taking a time out, you know, walking away from a situation, taking a break of a day or 2 days or 3 days will really enable you to process whatever that's going on and make better decisions for how to use your anger in order to create constructive change in your life. And ultimately, anger can be a very positive emotion if you use it to create change in your life that's wise. And finally, the last you know, psycho-spiritual, cultural tip for happiness that I want to give you is that you catch more bees or more flies, depending on how you've heard the expression, with honey than vinegar. What does this mean? Sweetness, kindness, flexibility attracts more to you than, you know, being a sourpuss, being angry. And this is something that we express to the world around us, or even to ourselves, not only with our words, but with our facial expressions, with the way we carry our body. All of these different things can be done sweetly or can be done with sourness or with anger. even if you're in a situation where you're upset about something or frustrated with something, communicating with kindness, you know, a simple smile, softening your body language, softening your face, keeping your voice in a normal level instead of screaming, calming your emotions, making them softer and sweeter. All of those things will serve as a bridge between you and the people around you so that you can actually communicate effectively and not only get what you want, but attract more people and more opportunities into your life. So on that note, I would love to hear what are some of the psycho-spiritual principles that you live by in order to make your life more successful and happier. Please do share them in the comments section below. And also don't hesitate to share this video with the people you care about in order to give them some more tools for happiness in their life. Don't forget to click the subscribe button below and the notification bell in order to be notified every time there's a new video. Wishing you many blessings. Bye-bye.